You're not lazy, you're overwhelmed. You don't need more willpower, you need smaller goals. Now, I used to chase big, sexy goals, and then I would beat myself up for quitting. What actually worked? Doing one small thing a day. Now, this video is about how micro goals rewired my 60-year-old brain and how they'll change yours too. So what is a micro goal really? Well, a micro goal is exactly what it sounds like. A tiny, bite-sized task that you can complete in just a few minutes. It's not some vague resolution like, get in shape. It's walk around the block, stretch for 2 minutes, do 10 squats. Something so small that your brain cannot ever come up with an excuse to avoid it. Well, maybe. It's not learn to play guitar. It's pick it up, strum 3 chords, and call it a win. You don't need to sweat. You don't need to grind. You just need to start. Now, in fact, your goal should feel a little bit ridiculous. You should feel kind of stupid doing it. It should be so small that it almost feels like cheating. And that's the magic, folks, because you're tricking your brain into action. And action is where momentum lives. Now, maybe you're thinking, come on, Mike, that's too small to matter. I get it, folks. I used to believe that too. I really did. But here's the truth. Your brain, it doesn't care how big the win is, just that you won. Every time you check off even the tiniest task, you get a dopamine hit. That's the same stuff your brain releases when you hit a jackpot or crush a big presentation. That little chemical reward tells your brain, hey, this feels good, let's do more of that. So you do. And when I started, I set one micro goal a day. Drink a full bottle of water. That's it. But something wild happened. The next day, I walked for 10 minutes. The day after that, I stretched. And suddenly, without even trying to do more, I was doing more. Now, because success builds, success is not a staircase. It's not a catapult. I'll give you a real example from my own life. When I decided to get serious about learning guitar again, I told myself that I'd practice for an hour every single day. I even added it to my calendar and blocked out the time. Well, guess how long that lasted? Maybe a few weeks at most. And then life started getting in the way, like it always does. I mean, that's just what happens. But when I finally said, just pick up the guitar and play 3 chords, that's when everything changed. I started hitting my micro goal every single day. And what happened next? Well, since I already had the guitar in my hands, I played a few more chords. Then I played a full song. Now, well, I'll often play for 30 or 40 minutes just because I got started. The hardest part, it's not finishing, guys. It's getting started. That is the most difficult aspect. And micro goals make starting effortless. So how do you actually build a system that works? That's a great question, but it's really simple. I use what I call the 3x1 framework. One micro goal in each of these 3 categories. Mind, body, and connection. That's it. 3 tiny actions a day. That's all it takes. And when I say tiny, I mean tiny. Now let me show you what that looks like, because it's quite simple. Mind. Read 1 page in a book. Don't make it the first page in the chapter that's only got 1 paragraph in it, but read 1 page of a book. For your body, do 10 squats or stretch for just 30 seconds. Connection. Text 1 person you care about just to say something kind. That's all you have to do. You don't need to change your entire life in a day. You just need to touch the areas that matter every day, no matter how small. That's important, guys. But how do I track it? Nothing fancy. I just have a note in my phone. Literally, just a list with check boxes. And every time I check one off, that's a win. I don't punish myself for missing. No guilt, no shame, none at all. If I fall off, I get started again the next day. Progress over perfection. Always. Now, all right, let's wrap this up with a little challenge, shall we? Here's what I want you to do. First, pick one micro goal. Make sure that it takes less than 2 minutes to complete, and then commit to doing it every day for the next 7 days. I don't care if it's flossing one single tooth. The point isn't the task. It's the momentum. And once that train starts moving, it's a hell of a lot easier to keep it going. Now, if this hit home, do yourself a favor. Subscribe to the channel. Strings of Life is all about staying strong, smart, and sane after 60. We're not here to fade quietly. We're here to build momentum. So hit that subscribe button and let's win the week, one small step at a time.